Alright guys, it's a little bit later, same day that we did the Gambler E38 subframe drop and fixed the struts on there. And I was pulling out some parts out of my container, some needed stuff. I was looking for a steering rack for Zach for some customer or something. And then I pulled this rack out. So this is a very interesting steering rack. It is a rack out of a Z4M. If you guys know about Z4s, the only ones that got hydraulic power assisted racks were the M cars, the M Roadster, Z4M Roadster, and the Z4M Coupe. All the non-M cars got an electric assisted rack. So down here, this is just like all the way down here, and there's no ports for the electric. I was like, man, maybe I can make this work in the E30. So I've been doing some reading on it, and people say it's possible to make it work. If you guys know, Z3s and Z4s have like a very, the driving position is very far back in the wheelbase. So because of that, you can see how long the linkage is to get from the steering rack to the firewall. Like it's pretty long. I've been doing some reading and figuring out how people do this, and people run this rack and they run the non-power assisted rack and just run it as a manual rack all the time. Instead of just depowering a hydraulic rack, they just run that one. So I was looking into that, and I think what I'm going to do first, I just wanted to record this because I don't want you guys to feel left out, but I think this is just a plastic cover. This like telescopes in and out, so kind of cool. I don't know if that's for crash test or what, but it's cool. It's got an M logo on it. But I'm going to take off these the plastic covers, and then we'll see what we're left with after that. All right, we're back. I got the covers off, and then right here, I'll show you. So I got all the covers off, and I got this part there, and then I slammed this all the way in, and then these pieces of plastic were actually inside of that to prevent it from going farther. I think they would run into the U-joints. The other cool thing about this, if I can use this linkage, what I heard is this piece right here, the splines on it are too big for the E30 shaft, but this is the exact size of the non-airbag E30 column. So I just need to get this to the right size. And looking at it, I think if I can, looks like there's a clip in here, right there. If I can get that off, I might be able to get this whole thing separated, and then I can simply just cut this down and cut that down so it doesn't bind into the U-joint. I can make this whatever length I want. So I think this is gonna work. So it has its own oil cooler or power steering cooler built into it right there, which I could probably mount and utilize somewhere. And then I have the reservoir, and if you guys don't know, these have filters built into them that are not replaceable. Still some blue in there. Oh, and that's like really good looking. This came out of a 44,000 mile car, by the way, that was rear-ended, that I bought a long time ago. But I think all I might need to figure out is just putting that onto the power steering pump, and then just the correct line from here down to the M20 power steering pump. I'm gonna see about getting this apart, and then if I can figure out the proper length to make that, this could be really cool. I might just see if I can get it apart now, and this might be a thing that we install it in the car, and then before we put an engine in it, just figure out the modifications that need to be there. But that'd be super cool to have a collapsing steering column that's all U-joints, no rubber, no anything. And I also hear that the Z4M rack might actually be quicker than the Z3, whatever non-M, the 1.9 rack that everybody loves. This has, I think, the same or maybe slightly more turn in it, but the rack itself has more angle, so it moves farther with each turn, but it still keeps turning. So like looking how like smashed in that side is compared to how far out that side is, like that thing, it looks like it has a lot of movement. So this just might be the perfect thing to throw on the E30. So I got the clip out, a little thing, but it's still not completely, like it's still hitting something right there. So I think I'm gonna cut it right here, and then like right here, and then that should remove whatever the binding is right there in the middle. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut that, and we'll see. All right, so I got it all cut apart. Here's the part that I cut off of there, right there. Then inside was holding the rest of the pieces on. Appeared to be this sleeve with all these dual ball bearing setups. So I think if I can get those to stay on here, those on there, then I will still have the telescoping part, and also it'll remain rigid. So things are pretty hot from grinding on them, but I'm gonna try and slide that over that and put that on there, and see if we have an adjustable rack now, or adjustable column thing. All right, so I got that hammered on. It took a few times fighting it back and forth, but as you can see, this shaft is this long, and this one goes from here and then just peaks out, just, you can see it just right out in there. So I can still cut, and now they just come apart. So I could always cut more off here and cut more off of the inside bar to make whatever length I need. But I can also pull this out all the way to there and like double the length of this shaft. So we should be sweet to run this. I think it's going to be perfect. I'm not going to do any more cutting now. It'll be a little bit before we put this in, but you know, this allows me to get rid of this whole wonky thing with that rubber disc in it, which actually feels like a fairly nice one, which is weird. And then, you know, just replace it with just a U-joint and a U-joint instead of that one. So it seems like an elegant, simple fix using new M parts, and I'm gonna do it. I need to do some research on what inners and outers I should run, but I'm sure it's just the tried and true, like just kind of whatever control arms you're running, just run those ones. But yeah, pretty stoked on that little thing. It rained a little bit. I haven't done anything to move the E38 or anything. Buddy Jason borrowed the jump pack and killed it, so I am charging that now. And then I'm gonna get the E38 moved back into its spot. Don't feel like touching it, cleaning it, whatever. We will get that cleaned up and the right wheels on it and whatnot in time for the Rambler. But I own an X5, a 2006 4.8 IS. Made a video on it a little while ago. It's like right there. I have decided that I'm going to sell that car. I'd rather have the money than another car that I don't drive. But funny enough, when I was working on that car, I was like fixing the things that are wrong with it. I was like, oh, it doesn't have power steering. Well, let me fill it up and see where the leak is and what's going on. Fill it up, it just drains right into the ground. Finally got under there one day, and it turned out there just isn't a power steering pump at all. So I actually ended up buying a power steering pump off of eBay. But if you guys remember, when I pulled that S52 out and sold it, what I got in return was an X5 4.4 engine. It's right under there. It's kind of sucks it's on that side now, but I'll get to it. And the 4.4s, the N62s, and the 4.8 N62s in E53 X5s used all the same components for that. So I am going to go ahead and pull off that pump, and I can use that belt if it's not bad, all that stuff to get that other car done. And I need to do like a ABS sensor, and I can sell that thing. So I'm gonna work on getting that in right now. All right, it took longer for the jump pack to charge. And I thought, well, I moved the E38 into the lot, but then the jump pack died when we get the X5 started. Finally got the X5 started, just got it in here, but I think it's like 11 and I'm done. So I think I might have Hamish work on this thing tomorrow. I sold the grills out of it because they were ugly carbon fiber ones, and this hood has a dent right there. I have another silver hood that's going to go on this, and then need to do the power steering pump, like I said, ABS sensor, like I said, and then I'm gonna see how much of all this carbon fiber crap that's on the car I can take off. Might do a trans fluid flush and fill. Oh, it's got these LED tail lights that I absolutely hate. So I'm gonna get a stock set of tail lights on it. See if I can find a wiper arm, but I feel like I might not have one. And then yeah, I think she'll be ready to go up for sale. Man, you guys are interested. It's a 2006 4.8 IS black Napa interior. Oh, that door's locked. It's got 171,000 miles on it. Air suspension has been deleted. It's on regular coil on springs. Probably like a 3-liter X5. Yeah. See if she starts back up. Battery was a little low from sitting. Yeah, battery's low. Another reason I put it inside to put on the charger. But yeah, heated steering wheel. Oh, we're looking at me. Why are we looking at me? Why did we look at me? I don't know. That was weird. But heated steering wheel. It's got like a wrap on it though. I'm not so sure. It had a dash cover, which I started taking off. Got to get the rest of the glue off and the rest of the Velcro things. But it's not a bad car. Interior's not beat up. The door over there works. So, I don't know. If any of you guys want it, I let it go for 5. I'm probably going to put it up for 7. Let's see though. I don't know if we're quite there for a video. Let's talk about some more E30 stuff. We got our steering rack situation figured out, which is super cool. The other thing we got is, this is our medium case 373. I realize we don't have stub shafts, so I'm gonna have to go find some of those, which hopefully won't be too hard. I feel like I had a diff over here, but I probably got rid of it or moved it somewhere. I'll have to look out in the container. But some other stuff that we got lying around. We got an alternator, we got a power steering pump, we got a starter, we got a flywheel and stuff that we're not going to end up using. Down there, we got our transmission with our bushing and everything ready to go. So I think the only thing we don't have down there is a shifter, but that shouldn't be too hard to find one. And yeah, and then I think we talked about it, that we have our wheels right here. We got Team Dynamics, or 15x7, I think like plus 20 or something. I think they're pretty good fitment, but pretty good tires. We got the Yokohama Advan AO52s. What was the tread wear on these? I feel like they were very sticky. Yeah, tread wear 200. So they should be pretty good. Probably not known as like the best of drag racing tires, but I bet they will do plenty good enough for what we need. And then I think that's it for parts that are lying around. I think I showed you guys the brakes. We got this Sparco seat. It's a Pro 2000, pretty sure. Yeah, Pro 2000 as our as a driver's seat. Already got Sparco harnesses. It's got an E30 mount on it with a slider. And then we got this Momo seat as a passenger seat. Don't have an E30 bracket though, so I need to find one of those. The car itself needs new taillight, which we have, and then straighten that out a little bit. Was pretty easy. And then the headlights are pretty much broken. Yeah, they're all broken all the way across. We don't have any grills to get that. Get the license plate bracket off and the license plate. Get these fogs off. We don't need those. Might eventually get one of those cool valences that like comes out slightly. Not the ES valence, but there's ones that are like this size that just stick out a little bit. Buddy Alex Upchurch used to have one that I liked on his white coupe. But over here, my buddy Matt, he gave me these. I'm not gonna dig them out right now, but those are door cards for the front, and then like the rear side pieces that are just metal and flat. So we're gonna be running those. Ooh, steering wheel we're gonna run. It's not in here, but it's a pretty cool old OMP that was in my buddy Elliot's like E36 LTW wrap. It's a really cool steering wheel. It's like ratty in the best ways. So we're gonna have that, and then drive shaft. I got a drive shaft for it, and we're running the Super Edit Trans, so we have big Weebo, and then this is the drive shaft we ended up with. So get E36 cart bash bar out of the way. But we got this fairly new and balanced drive shaft that's ready to go. I guess we could put it up there and see if the center support is in the right spot. I think it probably is. Clean off your lens a little bit. I'm gonna test that real quick, make sure we don't need another center support. But we'll be right back. Just threw up there. Correct spacing for the center support. We'll line right up. So in the last video we pulled these brake lines out of that blue convertible. I think that was the last video. I know there's been a lot of videos lately. So we can run those and put the new master in to each side, and then we're gonna need a little bit of work in terms of the flaring. I talked to Hamish about it, and he said Aaron might not have the right flares. The right flare tour for the BMW, which I think is an inverted flare or a double flare. I don't remember exactly what we have and what he can't do, but we'll get that all figured out. And yeah, things are coming together, feeling good. So it's Wednesday, or I mean it's Monday. I don't work on Tuesdays. Wednesday, I have it on the list to do some trailer work. We'll probably end up doing that, but let's see how this other stuff goes as well. I want to tow the E38 to the Gambler or the Rambler this weekend, and I was just a little tired. I think we've talked about it, showed it before. I need to get this car to John's on Friday. So things that we need to do to get it to John's is assemble all of the suspension stuff. So I'm gonna have Hamish go pull the struts and stuff out of the other car tomorrow morning. So we'll have the full setup for that. So we need to assemble all this, assemble all these bushings, get it in the car, get it rolling. I probably need to at least get the accessories on this engine, probably the radiator in the car, and some hoses. I think I might just buy new hoses. I'm not sure what the hose plan was. I just feel like I was looking at that stuff and then didn't finish a plan there. But it's gonna go to John so we can do intercooler piping and stuff. So I want to have the most stuff that's there that's supposed to be there so that he can work around it. So we gotta do that. But we'll trailer it over there, drop it off while we're gone. We're gonna be gone Friday, Saturday, get back Sunday. It can stay at his shop for a few days over there, and we can work on other things after we get back. So it should be good. There's a part that I ordered a while ago that hopefully comes in for another car. We can start working on that. But I'm not getting burned out. I'm liking this a lot. So appreciate you guys watching, and can't wait to do spinny things. So you guys have a good one.